Hey, book lovers. We are Ellen and Sarah, and this is Besties and Books, where we drink wine, share laughs, talk fantasy, and all the stories that steal our hearts. I do have to apologise in advance. I'm getting over a sickness at the moment, so if my voice sounds a bit raspy, bear with me. Today, we always look forward to recording these episodes because it is our monthly book review. And this month we have 6 books to review. We read an additional 2 books from our TBR. Well, not aside from our TBR pools. So an extra long one this month, and we're super excited to get into it. Before we get into our reviews, please note this will be a completely spoiler-free review of each book, so don't need to worry about spoilers. That being said, let's get into the first book of the month.
Okay, for book 1 this month, we had The Song of the Marked by S.M. Gaither. So a very brief synopsis. We have Cassia is our lead female character. She is a mercenary who is, after a series of events, paired with a mysterious captain called Alander to uncover the origins of a deadly plague, a plague that she herself is a survivor of, but there are very few survivors. So let's talk about what drew me into this book, if anything. The first few chapters, I actually really got into it. I thought the setup was like when the first time she met Alander and the lead up to that, I thought I liked some of the elements that were coming out here. I thought we were sort of going somewhere with this book. We have a plague-ridden empire, mysterious captain, some ancient gods sort of mentioned stirring in the background. And then I think after about like the 10th chapter, my initial impressions obviously were wrong and the execution just fell very short. And I struggled. I struggled with the writing. I had to reread certain parts of the chapter because all of a sudden I would find myself in a scene and think, how the heck did this like monster get here? Or how the heck are they there? Like what just happened? And it wasn't complicated writing. It was confusing. It was poorly written.
Yeah. The writing was so bad. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I don't mean to cause offense to anyone out there if you enjoy this book. Please note that these reviews are subjective, okay? I really love that people love this book. Good for you. But I did not. I did not find.
Did you like the beginning or not at all?
I actually remember when she sort of is going through this mysterious mist and then meets Alander. I liked that, but that's it. It's supposed to be a romantasy, enemies to lovers, young adult. I didn't connect with the writing. The plot twist fell super flat. There was only one that took me by surprise, but even then I was like, meh. And when you read all the reviews, it's like, oh my God, the plot twist, like awesome. Like you'll be crying by the end of it.
Yeah,
I
didn't get
what?
it.
I just found it so cringe.
It felt like the plot moved quickly, but at the expense of clarity and cohesion. It was just like a jumbled mess of things happening and made it very hard to follow. The characters, I agree, I didn't mesh with at all. Like Cassia is supposed to be this tough, witty mercenary, but her personality, I didn't think felt consistent. Like there's certain people that she trusts implicitly upon meeting them when they've sort of built her up to be this, tough person, doesn't let anyone in. I'm thinking, why are you trusting this other person without a...
she trusted the Emperor off the fall of a hat? Like,
yes,
what?
Yes. And I thought Alander, I thought he had potential, but there was something missing. Like his character lacked depth or context, or never felt like he was a fully developed being.
He wasn't developed, and their sort of enemies to lovers romance was like so rushed.
Yeah, it didn't really happen. It was all.
It was so sudden.
Yeah, it was just I don't like you, and all of a sudden, oh, now we're now we're a thing. Okay.
It was so bizarre, and I didn't give a crap about the plague. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like I really thought the plot was going to go like the plague was going to be like this little side plot issue, and it wasn't. It was all about finding a cure for this stupid plague that I just didn't care about.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, I just didn't care. I wonder if I even wrote down a couple of quotes to read them to you. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, I think with the world building, she tried to bring in sort of like the introduction of the ancient gods and the tiers of gods. I thought that might go somewhere like that. I thought that was sort of setting up a bit, but then again, it just fell a bit flat, or maybe it was underdeveloped. So potentially book 2 that elaborates, but it just didn't work for me.
Actually, I do have to admit, I liked the animal companion Silverfoot. That was the only redeeming quality. But one of the quotes, oh my gosh, I can't even, like, this is making me cringe. You think very highly of yourself, don't you? I do, and I exceed those high standards time and time again. I just find it like,
yeah, it was very
and it was like she pulled every single romantic line from every book out there and then mashed them together.
Yeah.
And it was just so random and sudden and then not thought out. It was very insta-lovey. And
I did wonder, well, I did think, who would love it? And I'm pretty sure 15-year-old girls would quite enjoy this book.
Yeah, very young. Very young teens.
So maybe we're showing our age.
It's pretty appropriate, right? As well, for that age.
Yeah.
But I didn't even like the writing. Like, I've read some great young adult books. And I don't know. Look, this was not a hit. In fact, I would even go to say this was probably one of my worst reads of the year. I'm sorry.
I don't disagree.
Yeah. With that being said, should we give our rating?
Yes.
1, 2, 3. 1 star. Oh.
Well, I finished it. If I gave it 1 star, I don't think I would have finished it. But
actually, that's true.
Is this going to go in the bucket of we probably won't read book number 2?
I'm not reading book number 2. I'll say that now. I'm not interested. I don't care. Look, you're actually right. I finished it, and 1 star is a DNF for me. But in saying that, I skim read the last 25% of the book. So I feel like I basically DNF'd it anyway. Yeah. Like, I was skipping pages just to try and get to the main point so I knew what happened. But otherwise, I just didn't care. So it's a 1. I'm sorry. It's a 1 star from me.
Give it a 1.5 because you got to the end.
All right. 1.5 because of Silverfoot as well.
Yes. All right. What's next?
All right, so up next we have book 2 to the Ember in the Ashes series by Sabaa Tahir, and it is called A Torch Against the Night. So book 1 is the whole series is a young adult fantasy, almost romantasy, but I would say the romantasy is a real side plot, would you say? It's not the main focus of the book. Don't go into this thinking you're going to get a romantasy. But it's set in a pretty brutal world run by the Martial Empire, and it follows Elias, who I guess is a fighter for the Martial Empire and has been training to be what's called a mask, which is basically a warrior for the Empire his entire life. And then it follows Leia, who is forced to become, I guess, a spy for the Resistance in order to save her brother. And they become intertwined. So that sort of happens in the first book. And then second book follows that story and I guess Leia's journey in breaking out her brother, even if she can, if he's still alive, what's happening there. But it follows Leia trying to break her brother out of prison in the second book. I, again, enjoyed book 2. I thought it followed, it was pretty action-packed, followed a steady pace. However, I enjoyed book 1 more. Just the plot twist in this one fell a bit flat, and I did hit some points that I found quite boring and sort of I just wanted to rush through because it just wasn't going anywhere. There were some twists I enjoyed, but it just, I don't know, there was nothing about it that was like, wow, this is amazing. But it wasn't a bad book. I don't know how else to
I agree. I think
explain it.
Compared to book 1, whatever that was called, it's already fled my mind.
And Ember in the Ashes.
I mean the book 1 we just reviewed compared to...
Oh, I see.
Compared to Song of the Marked, where the writing was cringeworthy and not very good, I actually thought the writing of A Torch Against the Night was quite good. It just didn't do it for me. I got to 50%. I got through the first 30% pretty quickly and enjoyed it. Got to 50% and I just had to put it down. Go and read 2 other books and then pick it up again and finish. I didn't enjoy that the entire book was consumed with the prison rescue. It was sort of puffed up by some inner monologues and drawn out travel scenes, but it was essentially a prison rescue for an entire book. Leia, I wanted to see, she was too passive for my liking for much of the story. I wanted to see a bit more like fire and energy and leadership there. Elias and the soul catcher scenes, they just really bored me. I just wasn't interested at all. And then Helen, I thought her scenes might be a bit of the like redeeming part of the book that would really draw me in. But again, I found her bits just a little bit repetitive. So there was nothing that stood out for me as it wasn't for me. It wasn't exciting or sort of a cannot put down read. Sorry.
Yeah, because I remember saying after book 1, I was really interested in Elias and Helene's character, but I didn't really care for Leia. And that sort of continued into book 2. But then I sort of started to lose interest in Elias and Helene even. They just didn't progress. I sort of thought Helene would break out and go against the Empire and just turn into this, I guess, warrior, badass female main character that we see a lot in these romantasy books.
And I wonder if it will still happen. I still think that's where her character might go in future books.
It could, or I feel like if the authors really thought this out, she could become even more evil or really take a turn, and that could be like a major twist in this series. I don't know. I've heard a lot about book 4 being totally devastating in this series, but unfortunately I think based off book 2, I don't think either of us are super keen to pick up book 3. So Correct. It might be a DNF to this series.
If you wanted to read it, I'd be happy to read it, but I'm 100% okay with not reading it.
I think I might pick it up one day, but I'm not excited to read it. The idea of me picking it up now almost puts me in a book slump because I'm just feeling like, ugh, is this going to be a drag?
Yeah.
Alas.
Shall we?
All right, should we give it a rating?
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3. 3 stars.
2.
Oh, she's harsh. No, I think that's valid. If you had to soft DNF it and then come back to it and then really get through it, it's not good, is it?
Yeah, but like we said earlier, I couldn't fault the writing. So I don't know whether it just was, I don't know, something.
I think the plot was just lacking.
I didn't mesh with any of the characters, I think.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Next up we have The Gilded Cage by Lynette Noni. So this is book 2 in the Prison Healer series. So book 1, we're introduced to Kiva Meriden, who has undergone a series of deadly trials and has survived through them and has escaped from the Zalandov prison. So book 1, she now sort of emerges into the outside prison world and she is torn between, I guess, 2 worlds. On one hand, the royal family of Avalon have taken her under their wing, but she's also got a connection to the rebel cause who are looking to overthrow the monarchy. So she's in a situation where she doesn't really know we don't know which way she's going to go. She doesn't know which way she's going to go and turn. And that sort of sets us up for a bit of tension and angst in this book. So what did you think?
Probably the same as the first, to be honest. I found it a little bit slow. It did pick up in parts. And then the ending was epic. It was really followed that same mold.
She is good at doing the cliffhanger ending.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I really felt like I probably found book 2 more enjoyable than book 1 just because we got outside of the prison and we sort of got into Jaren's character a bit more. I felt like he was a bit of a mystery in book 1.
Yeah.
And then, her goals throughout book 2, without spoiling anything, her goals throughout book 2 and then Jaren's goals throughout book 2 and how they were intertwining or clashing or whatever it might be. I was really wanting to know where that was going to go or how that unfolded.
Yes. Yeah.
But I just felt like it followed that same cookie cut, very slow in parts and then with that epic cliffhanger.
There's a lot of, I guess, Kiva's internal monologue and internal conflict that we see between the rebels and the royals, and that I found very compelling. That kept me engrossed and kept me listening. But towards the end, I was getting a little bit frustrated and thought, man, you just got to pick a side, girl. You've just got to decide
Yes.
what you're doing, where your loyalty is, and go with it. And she is a very naive character. So parts of that I found difficult to read. I just wanted to like strangle her, like think properly for once.
Yeah.
Jaren's character, I didn't mind, but again, he's the perfect nice guy, and he's just a little bit beige in spots. Yeah. Like I wouldn't have minded
You're
if
like
there
a
was,
man with bat wings.
Yeah. I wouldn't have minded if he had some like dark secrets but he was just like lovely, just a lovely guy. So yeah. I didn't mesh as well with his character. The cousin though, I forget his name. I loved him. He was great. I liked him too. And the friendship that he developed with Kiva, I thought was like a nice touch. I liked him much more than the boy Tip, who we know from book 1. I think I got a bit bored with him, and I was happy for he can just go away and be replaced by the cousin as Kiva's little friend.
Agreed. Anyway, should we give a rating? 1, 2, 3. 3 stars.
Oh, same.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Oh, and will we continue with this series?
If you don't want to read it, I can tell you that I actually already read the 3rd book. And
what? No way!
This is one of the books I read when I had a pause from the bloody torch in the night or something.
Oh yeah. Okay, give us your review.
Well, I'd say it follows, in terms of the pacing, the plot, it all follows the same trajectory. But like what you said earlier, book 2 ends on a cliffhanger, and I was just like, do you know what? There's one book to go. I just have, and I thought that you wouldn't want to continue it. So I was like, I will read it. There are a few twists that I didn't see in the 3rd book. There's obviously, for reasons we won't go into, there's additional tension between Kiva and Jaren in book 3, which takes a lot of the book to work through. So that's a big part of it. And then Kiva is in a very bad situation at the beginning of book 3. So she's sort of got personal demons she's got to work through as well. So I enjoyed it. Like, I don't know, I probably would have enjoyed it equally as much as book 2, maybe even more. Like book 2 in some elements felt like the typical middle book in every sense. Like there was a bit of meandering, like we're just getting from book 1 to book 3 in book 2. Yeah. Whereas book 3 obviously wraps it all up. So yeah, I enjoyed it.
So what would you rate the series overall?
3 overall. Yeah.
3 overall. And would you rate book 3 a 3 as well, or 3.5?
I reckon that would get a 3.5. And I think
okay.
I can't remember if I rated book 1 2.5 or 3, because I found book 1 quite slow, but the ending of book 1 in my mind bumped it up like another, review point or something. So I'd say overall it's a 3, and probably book 3 would be my favorite.
Yeah. I mean, the endings were pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And it was the same. It made you want to read the next book.
And book 3 doesn't have, obviously, because it's the final book, it doesn't have, there's a few twists and turns, but it doesn't have the final, I didn't think, shocking, oh my gosh, what's going to happen next? Cliffhanger. Yeah. Given the book 3. That's it.
Cool. Good one. Thanks for that. All right. So the last on our list is The Maid series by Danielle Lori. So it's a 3-book series. We have, actually it's a 4-book series. 3 are published, 1 is yet to come. Publishing date has not yet been confirmed. But the books are called The Sweetest Oblivion, The Maddest Obsession, and The Darkest Temptation. Now, our dark romance pick for the month was The Maddest Obsession, which is book 2 in this series. But we loved it so much that we ended up reading all 3 in the series. It was so addictive.
That's how lame we are.
It was so lame, but so good. It was so good. So it's a Mafia romance series. I wouldn't say that it's super dark. Would you agree?
Yeah, agreed.
Like it has a couple of dark themes, but it's not something where I'd be like, oh, check your trigger warnings. Maybe for book 3, there might be a few triggers there, but not more than any other, fantasy book that you're going to read. It's pretty like, I don't know, level.
Yeah. It's a dark world in that you hear of
killings
and death and blood and gore around, but the actual, like within the actual relationships, the author offers plenty of, moments of genuine connection that lighten the book. So the relationships themselves aren't dark, but the environment and the criminal underworld and there's moral ambiguity, that's all sort of all a bit dark and shady.
Yeah. So they're interconnected standalones. You don't have to read them in order, but I would recommend that you do read them in order because it's good and you'll appreciate the cameos from the other characters throughout the other books. But it's not going to spoil anything if you don't read them in order.
I read book 2, then 1, then 3, and it didn't bother me reading them in that order.
Yeah, exactly. Super brief synopsis. It's just single sentence. So you get the gist of what this series is about. But The Sweetest Oblivion, book 1, it follows Elena Abelli, who is drawn to her sister's betrothed. So there's obviously a lot of tension there. And like I said, this is a mafia romance. So all of these families are heavily involved in the mafia. Then we've got book 2, The Madness Obsession, that follows Gianna, who finds herself attracted to an FBI agent. Now you can see as well, if you're in the mafia, the tension that this would create. And then book 3 is The Darkest Temptation, that follows Mila, who goes to Russia to find out answers about her family's past and ends up in the middle of the Russian mafia. And that's really the gist of the 3 books. And each book had so much tension, so much romantic tension. This is an absolute romance. All 3 books are romances. This is not a mafia book. Yes, there's the mafia background, but you don't really learn anything about the mafia. There's no real plot twist to do with the mafia. It's not very plot driven. It's very romance relationship driven. Yeah. But damn, the tension is good.
Yeah,
all 3 books.
I was going to look up and see if she's written anything else. Because all her main characters, the chemistry she writes, like you said, so much tension, but there's also so much like vulnerability and tenderness. It's not smut or sort of gratuitous. It does feel
it's spicy, but it's not smut.
But it feels like at the end of the book's like deep-seated love, proper romance.
Yeah. And all the male MMCs are morally grey, and we love morally grey MMC. It just adds so much excitement and tension to the stories. I know. You just can't. There's just something about a morally grey. I'd even say the MMC in book 3 was morally black for a time.
Agreed.
But there's something about, it's so good.
But all the books, like, they're hard to put down. The writing is sharp.
Yeah.
It's immersive. It's compelling. The pacing will just keep you hooked. And they're quite short. Yeah. Like, you could read them in a day or two, a couple of days.
Yeah, agreed. I found myself being excited to pick it up. It wasn't a book that I was like, gonna get back into it again. I was excited. I was like, I can't wait to read. This is so fun. And it felt like a treat, like in the evening when the kids are asleep, you're opening up your Mafia romance. It just felt like such a treat. It was so good. I wanted to ask you though, with book 3, I did struggle with the MMC with a twist that happens probably a quarter of the way through this book. And I was like, what? And I was like, I don't think he can come back from this.
Yeah.
But sure enough, the author,
he does come back. But
she did it well.
Yeah. I had the exact same, because I think when I was looking up the 3rd book before I'd read it, I saw a few people commenting that he had basically was and I was thinking, I'm not sure this is my sort of book. I was expecting it to be very dark. And there certainly is a scene there where I was like, what is going to happen here? I'm not sure I can read this. And then, but by the end of the book, or even the next couple of chapters, I don't know how the writer does it. Because I think very quickly and easily, she could turn off a lot of readers. And I'm sure she doesn't. Because she somehow redeems them.
And I honestly thought he wasn't redeemable. I was like, I don't you can't come back from that.
Yeah, so there was a few scenes there I was like, oh, she's really like up to the notch in book 3. Ooh. But
yeah.
do you know,
book 3 turns it up.
By the end of book 3, though, because I'm sure you're going to ask me which one was my favourite, and I almost think book 3 was my favourite. The banter.
Does that make us sick?
I don't know, but the banter in book 3 between the two leads, I thought was the funniest. I'm sure there are a few scenes where I laughed out loud, and I don't remember doing that in books 1 or 2. So there was, I don't know, there's something about, but there's certain elements of book 3 that are darker than book 1 and 2. Yeah. And they had their dark moments.
There was so many parts of book 3 that I hated. But yeah, it was so good. So if I had to rate them, I'd say book 3 was my favourite. And I can't pinpoint why, it just was. Maybe because there was more of a twist. But book 3, then book 1, then book 2.
Yeah, okay.
I would say.
I think I'd go 3, then 2, then 1.
Oh, interesting.
I think.
Because I don't know if you picked up on this, but when you were reading book 2, the time jumps.
Yes.
I hated that.
Oh, you do?
That spoiled
I should have picked up that you would have hated that.
For me.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Actually, I did wonder at the time why there was such big... As in, it could have been written differently to avoid such big time jumps. Yeah, I think it was supposed to just...
It wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
It didn't add to the story.
I think I liked the couple in book 2 better than book 1. Yep. Like if I'm just looking at the couples. But yeah, actually, now I think about it, that time jump was a bit unnecessary. But I still think book 2 over book 1 for me. But book 3 the best. I was just going to say book 4. I did start stalking who book 4 is about. Do you know?
No.
You do know? Oh.
No, I don't.
Well, when I looked it up, the name didn't ring a bell, but apparently the character gets a mention in book 3. So it's like a hooker that the main character in book 3, the main male character, he knows her like through his Mafia mob work, and she's referenced in book 3 somewhere, and she's who the book 4 is going to be about. But when I saw the name, I was like, I have not heard of it. It's not his girlfriend that like comes in and out a fair bit, like, or his ex.
Yeah, okay.
Like the ballet
yeah, that's
lover.
who I thought.
No, it's not her. It's someone else. And when I read it and the name was mentioned, I was like, I do not remember reading this name at all in book 3. So if she is mentioned,
which is probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Because like that's why it's interconnected standalone, so that you really don't like they make cameos, but you really don't. You're not going to spoil it if you don't read it in any order. But yeah, loved it. It makes me want to read more Mafia romances, and I just really hope that other ones are the same.
Like the one thing that surprised me about the first book I read, which was book 2, was that I was expecting I wasn't expecting it to be so relationship driven. I actually wanted a bit more insight into the Mafia world and the wheelings and dealings, and I thought that like the main female character who's, married to Mafia people or involved with Mafia people, but not involved herself, I thought she was going to sort of have a role in doing something big within the Mafia, which didn't happen. So that was a bit of a surprise. And I probably, if I knew anything about the book, I would have known that was never going to happen. But I would have enjoyed a bit of extra, I don't know, just Mafia world building. But in saying that,
yeah, it would have been cool.
Whatever.
And
Who
like
cares?
the plot twist and whatever. Yeah, I'm going to base my rating 2 on what it was. So it being purely a romance set in a Mafia world. I'm not going to base it against epic fantasy world building, because that's just not fair to this series. And I really recommend it. So I want to do the rating justice for that.
Shall we? Do you have a different rating for all the books?
No, I think I'm pretty happy to rate them all overall.
Okay.
I mean, maybe the third book would be an extra half a star, but the others, it's pretty close.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shall we?
You ready? 1, 2, 3.
4.5.
Oh, that's a great rating from you.
I know.
I love it.
I think
That's amazing.
I enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed the Mind series, which I think has been my highest rating on the podcast.
Yes.
4.5.
It has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is weird that it's non-fantasy.
It's dark romance. You're turning into a dark romance girly.
Gosh, nah.
Maybe we need to reassess our TVRs. Anyway, we can talk about that later. But yeah, it was a really fun series. Highly recommend. All right. So to summarize the books that we've read today, just in terms of ratings, to be super quick, Son of the Marked by S.M. Gaither. I gave 1 star. Sarah gave 2. Fortunately, fail for us. We will not be continuing, but love it for you if you love that series. Book 2 in the Ember in the Ashes series by Sabaa Tahir, called A Torch Against the Night. For me, it was a 3. I think Sarah gave it a 2 as well.
I think so.
Is that right?
I can check.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
And again, we won't be continuing with this series. I'm sorry. I may pick it up later if I really feel like it, but I just don't feel that drive right now. Prison Healer by Lynette, Noni, Book 2, A Gilded Cage. I gave 3 stars and you gave 3 as well, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah. So Sarah also read Book 3, To the Prison Healer by Lynette, Noni, and gave that one 3 stars as well. Overall, a 3. Oh, no, you gave it 3.5. But overall, Sarah says it's a 3-star series. I won't be continuing to read Book 3. Even though the cliffhanger ending was epic, I'm not motivated to read Book 3. And then we have The Maid series by Danielle Lori. This is a 3-book Mafia romance series with Book 4 to come out. And you will be damn sure we'll be keeping an eye out on the publishing date.
Yeah.
And we both gave this 4.5 stars, all 3 books.
Yeah, read it. All right, that is a wrap from us today. If you have enjoyed the episode, make sure to hit the subscribe button, give us a big thumbs up, and drop a comment below telling us which books you are dying to read this month, particularly if you have any Mafia book suggestions. We're ready for them. Until next time, bye.